Just win, baby.
Good morning, good morning. What's cracking, my brothers? And if any girls are in here, my sisters, I'm the Raider Nation, your host, Afakasi Raider. To my right, got my dog, Nutty Raider Nate. What's good, my man?
What's happening? Good to see you. Good evening on your part of the world. Yep.
Yeah, it's 9:30 on my part of the world. Just gonna situate some Wolfpack music. You know what time it is. And salutes to everybody in the chat. Yeah. Oh, Wolfpack is back causing mass destruction. Guess who's here? The bad boys of the Raider Nation.
Yeah. Remix.
For sure. Salute to everyone in the chat. J-Dub, Maus, good to see you in the feed, my man. MG, for sure. Always a pleasure, my friend. I hope you're probably working the night shift, so hope work went well for you, my friend. Red Nation Jason, salute to you, my man. Gonna have to do something with you sometime soon. I can't remember if you've come onto my side of town, but would love to have you on sometime, my friend. And I'll have to come back to your side of town as well.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother.
Let me show you. Let me show you.
You good?
Quick. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on.
All right, I'll just finish with the roll call. Tony, good morning to you. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining the stream. And who is that?
It's a jersey I won from Jason, from Jason's drawing. It's signed by Dwayne Bowie.
He's a chief, wasn't he?
Chief, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a prize. That's what's up.
I never,
used to be a good player. Dwayne Bowie.
Yeah, I've never had a signed jersey before, but I wish it was.
It's a shame it's not a Raider jersey. Hey, it's a prize. You're not going to complain.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's dope. It's got a certificate and everything. Pretty dope.
Nice, man. Nice. And your boy Banther's in the building. Salute. Yeah, there we go.
Sure.
Certification. Just going to read out Banther's comment out here. Pardon me. I'm realizing a lot of people are tapping out of Raiders content. Everyone's views are down significantly. Carl McDaniel's losing shit is weird. Well, my channels, sometimes I get the views, sometimes I don't. Like, it's been pretty consistent. Like, I guess doing lives consistently is only going to get you so far. I find, like, if you want to get yourself out there, you got to do like short videos because people just want to. I find a lot of people most of the time outside of your core audience that are your consistent viewers will want to just get in and get out on YouTube. You know, watch something short or whatever. But you know that takes a lot of editing and that. So I'm happy to do the live scene. So I appreciate everyone that stops by. It's always good to see the support and the consistent people that are in here for most of my streams. So yeah, it doesn't go unnoticed. Egalitarian, salute to you. Good to see you, my friend. Good morning to you. Who else we got here? Raider Pete, my man. Afakasi, good evening. Nutty, good morning. Appreciate it. Yeah, you got it right. It is good evening for me. Let me see who else we got down. I'm just scrolling down the bottom of the chat. Rafa, good morning to you. Good to see you, my friend. I hope your morning is going well. ¿Cómo está?
El Capitán.
El Capitán, Rafucho. And Willie Wayne, my man. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Well, it's been pretty slow since the last time we spoke, right?
Yeah.
Not really much developments. You heard anything through the grapevine, like injury reports or anything?
Not as of right now. I think we're on a short week, I believe, too. So that's another element to the equation. We had a game on Monday night, so that means one less day for rest and recuperating. So That's something to pay attention to. See, but this is our first back-to-back home game of the year, so that could help us in the long end. Traveling sucks. If anybody's ever traveled before on the plane or however you do it, it's not fun. So when you get to stay home back-to-back weeks, it could be an advantage. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like you go into a different time zone, your body's out of whack.
Yeah.
I mean, when you travel in the States from the East Coast to the West Coast, you got to adjust to the 3-hour time difference. If you go all the way to the east, right?
Yep. It can be brutal, and it's also you get sick like that. You travel around like that for weeks at a time, and you catch a cold or you catch some kind of flu, and you know what I mean, touching all those surfaces, going into airports, and yeah, got other 300-pounders coughing everywhere, and you know it's
right.
Germ City.
Now, who's this on 6 guy, on 6 soldier? He's been doing a threat with someone for years. Yep, that guy. Salute to you. Well, maybe if you're lucky, we might talk about your favorite running backs in Amir, Sincere. Who's the third one, Nate?
I don't know. Zamir.
My man on 6. Thanks for joining the stream. I'll just get to this comment here. Patriot. Sorry, on 6. I had to sneak that one in there, didn't you? On 6. For sure. Patriots are down bad right now. Hopefully not many Patriot fans pay them prices and we have another home field advantage. Well, that's a good point. I mean, like, we've had problems with these away fans taking over our stadium, but with the Patriots being probably at their worst since I've been a fan, I don't believe they've ever been this bad. I mean, I started watching football in 2009, and since then they've always been one of, if not one of the top. If they're not the top dog, they were one of the top dogs in the league. This is probably the first time where they've been pretty much near the bottom of the rung, right? The last 13 years, or even since they won that Super Bowl back in way back when. You know what I'm saying? They've never really been that bad, right?
Yeah, they do look checked out. I don't know if it's a Belichick thing or if they're really just missing talent, because I think they have some good pieces over there. I don't know. I don't understand what the problem is, but I did hear Warren Sapp talk about it the other day, maybe last week, a couple weeks ago, saying that the Patriot way is dead, and the way the Patriots are playing right now, it looks like it might be dead.
Well, it's about time. I mean, every franchise goes through it. I mean, how many? You could kind of say technically we're still going through it, but I mean, every franchise is going to go through that period of struggle, and I guess a lot of the Patriots fan base that are probably in their 20s have never really been used to struggle. You know what I mean? They've always been used to being a good team, so it's going to be interesting to see what the takeover is like, and hopefully it's not the case. Hopefully we can silver and black it out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Hey, Tony Romo's a racist. I'm just playing.
For sure. On 6 at work, just wanted to stop by and say what up and remind you guys to smoke fentanyl like if you're going to be washing. Let him. So look, on 6, well, you have a good day, and we'll catch up behind the scenes for sure.
Say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs. Like I said, it's good for your teeth. We signed a 6'4" wide receiver who ran 4.4. Maybe it can be something with Renfro being out. Is Renfro out? Or is are you just talking about how he's not being involved? Did we sign a 6'4" receiver?
I don't know.
Benta, help.
I didn't see anything. Yeah. That's
news to me. So Benta, if you know something, then please do tell in the comments. Cool to send a pack of fans home with their heads down in an L. Yeah, I saw a few people chanting through the videos what go back home instead of go pack go. That was pretty fun.
Go pack go. Yeah.
Right. They're talking about like how he's probably going to be traded. Well, there's been talk about that through the grapevine since the off season, and it just never materialized. Like maybe, I don't know, since he's not getting involved, it's been heating up the conversation more and more. But I guess we'll see. I mean, yeah, I don't really entertain hypothetical trades because 99 times out of 100 they never really happen, right?
Yeah.
Every time I hear somebody talk about, we should get this player or we should go get that player. If I was GM, I'd make this trade, and it never happened. Right.
The funniest one I'm hearing right now is let's trade Garoppolo for Kirk Cousins. Like, why would the Vikings do that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I let them fan out how they want to fan out. I'm not in here for the argument. I'm in here for the discussion, not the argument.
Right. Well, everyone's got their opinion, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You're free to it, bro, but you're not gonna convince me.
Hey, Jesse, salute to you. Good morning. Good to see you.
NorCal, that's my dog.
For sure. Malik Flowers, is that the wide receiver we signed on? Have you heard of him?
I thought Flowers was like a defensive end. I didn't know he was
Isn't
a
that Trey
receiver.
Flowers?
Is that Trey Flowers I'm thinking of? Okay.
That his name?
Malik Flowers, I don't know. I know we signed a 6'3" cornerback last week. 6'4" receiver, I'm not sure. Let me see.
I cannot comment, but hey, I mean, I guess it's just another wide receiver we're signing to the team, right? Must be a record for how many wide receivers we signed in like during the course of the season and off season. Crazy.
Terrible. And then we still only throw it to Devontae Adams. What the fuck is that about?
Right. I don't know. Whatever. Raider P. I loved every minute of Trent Green eating dirt. When the Raiders and Justin Fargas demolished the Dolphins in 2008, I was there with 60% of Raider fans. Oh, okay, that's what's up. So that must have been when the Dolphins were pretty. Was that while they were during their Wildcat days, or was that when they were doing pretty bad? Yeah, I don't know. Who's Trent Green? Do you know who that is? I see a few people talking about Trent Green.
Sounds
Who the
familiar.
fuck is that guy?
So, yeah.
I know Justin Fargas.
Green, I think Green was a speedster back in the day. If
Yeah,
that's
okay.
the same guy I'm thinking of.
I know Justin Fargas. That's Fargas with a Fargas, I believe.
Yeah.
I guess.
His
was
dad
alright
was
for
a famous actor. On some show, I forget what show it was.
Okay, Trent Green played for KC. He was a quarterback. Oh, okay. And we had Culpepper. Did we have Culpepper that season? He must have been starting while Jamarcus Russell was sitting trying to find his feet, which he never did. Right? Oh, well, whatever. All right, talk to us, Nate. You got anything else?
I'm trying to find the wide receiver Ben was talking about. I don't see him.
Well, we signed like him, those two, one outside linebacker and another linebacker, didn't we? To the practice squad in the course of the last few weeks, right?
Say again, linebacker.
I was talking about your mom.
What did you
I'm
say?
kidding. Respect to your mom. No, I can't remember what I said. My bad. What did I say?
Trent Green was the quarterback. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
That's right. I said we signed an outside linebacker, a linebacker, and a wide receiver in the last few weeks to the practice squad.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I didn't check up on them because I know we signed that dude, Dark Angel, and then we cut him like a few days later. So I kind of lost interest in the practice squad signs because it feels like they're playing musical chairs out there. So
yeah, it's always the case with the practice squads, musical chairs, and
yeah,
like I don't get excited for guys on the practice squad until they come up and they at least show something, whether it's as a rotational guy or whatever it may be. But we'll see. Maybe, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about a wide receiver, bro. Maybe Benther's just trolling us.
Okay, Raider Pete's giving us a history lesson because this is just before my time, Pete. So salute to you. Trent then crossed the state and played for KC. We punished him there, and then he swam with the Dolphins. Fair enough. Rafa, Jason, Jesse, Pete, salute my brothers. Yeah, for sure.
Salute. Salute. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Let me see. PF. No, it's PFF.
That's why you're doing that, Raider Ben. Post the shorts again. They're getting lots of views. I put my brand on it. Hopefully they don't get me again. Yeah, for sure. I hear that's usually the case if you want to. Like I find with shorts and short videos is where the subs will come and the views will come in that. But yeah, just give me a moment, Raider Ben, if you want to pull up for sure. Say less. Good to have Benther on the stream.
Oh, I see. Malik Flowers. He's a rookie. He's got some speed on him.
Come and tap in real quick. Maybe he might be able to shed some light.
Yeah.
Bad luck, Trent. Announced 2 of our losses this year. Listed the band's dead for sure. Well, here he is, the one and only. Y'all love him. Y'all know him.
No, this isn't Raider Ben. This is a porn bomb.
Oh, okay. All right. See ya. No. What's good, my man?
What's up, dude? Shit, I'm at work right now. Just chilling. What's popping with Slimies? What's good?
What's cracking?
So I got some shorts. I got a Josh Jacobs short from Twitter. It's like you guys know all those clips they were showing of the John Robinson from like that weird angle from up top and they slow it down. I posted a clip of them showing that same clip of Josh Jacobs shaking Jair Alexander out of his boots. It's got like 2,000 views on it in like less than an hour, bro. But I put my brand on it. And I edited a little bit, so I'm hoping they don't chop me, bro. I gotta be careful, man. But I don't really post shorts. Last year, I posted a short that had like 1 million views on it. I think that's why they clipped me, bro.
Yeah, I think there's some technicalities behind like what kind of shorts you can upload if it's taking away like copywritten footage. I believe like if you're doing regular videos, if you clip it to a maximum of like 5 to 10 seconds or whatever it may be, and it doesn't have any like ESPN branding or Fox Sports branding on it, then it's okay. But I think like it's got to be shorter than a certain amount of time. Otherwise, if it goes over that, then they clip you. But there is some technicalities to it. But honestly, like I ain't got the time of day to go and read through it, so I just stick to what.
So when I had got my email about when they took my monetization away for reused content, they say you can reuse content, but you got to put your own brand on it. So I've seen like a lot of people who post shorts like Spotlight. When he posts his shorts that he gets off Twitter, he just puts like his subscribe shit on it. He puts his logo and shit on it, and he's been good. So I think I'm just going to start trying to do that.
Whatever works, right?
Right. And yeah, that dude, Flowers, Malik Flowers, he's an undrafted free agent, 6'4". He ran 4.4 at the combine or at his pro day. He had 7 kick returns for touchdowns last year.
What? 7?
Yeah, 7.
Hell, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so he's a UD. What college did he go to?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's small school.
Yeah.
Well, that's 7. That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah, he's a gazelle, like Nate said. He's 6'4". And most of his speed probably comes from his long ass legs, bro.
Okay. Well, a developmental guy. I mean, you know, if he amounts to anything, then
it went to Montana. It looks like.
Oh, okay, Montana. Tony Montana.
Yeah.
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Future. Potentially the best returner in NCAA history.
And see, possibly the best returner in NCAA history, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But what division?
NCAA history. I mean, he probably was in a trash division, but it's still NCAA history, regardless of it's SEC, Pac, whatever. It's still the history of college football. You know what I mean?
Have a look. Give me more. Why you guys chop it up? Montana University.
Man, I've worked 40 hours in the last 3 days, bro. I fell asleep yesterday, like right after my show at like 6 o'clock, dude. I barely woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning to come do my shift.
Yep. Grinding.
My girl came home from work. I knocked out, bro. My girl came home from work and she was like, "Damn, baby, you didn't cook dinner." I'm like, "I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so tired. I fell asleep." So we just ended up having like cereal and shit. So, but I didn't cook. I got to cook tonight. Well, I'm back to 8s now. The last 3 days we had an inspection. So we had to work all these long ass hours to get ready for the inspection. Well, we passed our inspection yesterday. So now we're back to just working our 8. So I won't be as tired. And it's hard. I ain't gonna lie, guys. It's hella hard for me to do my shows, bro. Like after I work 12s, because I'm so tired, bro. Like the last 3 shows I've done, it's like it's hard for me to focus and concentrate, and because I'm so tired, dude. But should be all right. Do a show today.
I know the feels. I mean, when I used to work away, because my old occupation, I used to work on a mine site where it was basically 14 days straight, 12-hour days, no days off, and because I was away for 2 weeks, like I tried to like sometimes sneak away on my lunch break and do a live and that, and it's tough when real life comes first. Like for me, like this is just about fun, and I'll do it when I've got time. But like it's not an occupation for me. You know what I mean? And like when you got real life duties like work, like when you're fatigued, it's hard to really get on the live and show the energy that you would if you had the time off and that. But salute to you, Bento. Like I can appreciate that you make time to do this and provide the good content that you do, even though you're in the middle of your workflow, working what, like how many hours? Like 12 hours, 13-hour nights?
Yeah, I worked 40 hours in the last 3 days. Good. Well, 39 to be exact. I worked 13 hours Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yeah, it's tough, and especially the night shift, because it really takes a toll on your body. Like I remember when I used to work nights when I was away, I would finish work and I would just eat and go straight to bed. My body would crash. I wouldn't go to the gym. I would do nothing else, just straight to bed. Like it's just don't ask me to do nothing else. It's just,
and it's tough for me to do that because I have three kids, you know what I'm saying? And my girl goes to work as soon as I get home because we have to do that so we don't have to put our kids through childcare, you know what I mean? So I get home from work, I got to take care of the kids, you know what I'm saying?
You see Jesse's comment?
Fuck Jesse. Fuck you, Jesse, bitch, pussy. I'm at work. Eat a dick.
We love you, Jesse.
I'm just fucking with you, Jesse.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all love. At least
hey, Mike G, you said you wanted to come by the show, Mike G. If you got some time Friday night, let me know if you don't work, bro. It's been too long since you've been on the show, dog. I asked Afakasi. I don't know if you've seen my comment off Afakasi, but if you got some time, bro, pull up.
Yeah, look, when you asked me to last week, I wanted to. It's just when your Fridays, your Deathling Baby show is on Friday nights, correct?
Yeah. So it's like Saturday afternoon, I think, for you.
It's actually Saturday mid morning for me, and that's when I now my cricket season has started, so that's when I've got cricket, unfortunately. So that's the only reason I didn't pull up. Like I pulled up real quick on the drive, but I can only listen to it, and then I play cricket all day. So I appreciate the offer. I would have if I had the time.
You're everybody, bro. Our channel is a home away from home for you guys. So for all you guys that you feel me have channels, like my channel is just a second home for you guys. You guys can come over and you feel me. We'll pimp your channel out and shit like that, and just continue to grow as a nation. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. No, I always appreciate you making time for me. Like you come on my live, like coming onto the Deathling Baby podcast it's always good fun, always a pleasure. And like I said, like support those who support you. You know what I mean? And Raider Ben, it's like I keep saying, like I appreciate that. Even though you're one of the bigger channels, Spotlight is another one. A lot of these cats, as soon as they hit like 5, 6, 10,000 subscribers, they don't want to know about you. You know what I mean? But you've always
that's not me.
That's not you. No, it's not. And salute to you, and I really appreciate that. Willie Wayne, well, this shirt, you wouldn't believe how much I scored this one from. I actually paid probably $8 USD for it. It was on special at my local, so I was like, yeah.
Oh, that's a good price.
It's pretty dope, right?
I don't know if you guys seen my short yesterday, but one of my subscribers sent me Brandon Jennings. He sent me a Devontae Adams jersey because it didn't fit him, bro. He bought it and it didn't fit him, so he sent it to me. So I got 2 Devontae Adams jerseys now.
Sorry, what happened?
One of my subscribers, his name's Brandon Jennings. He hit me up on Instagram and said that he bought a Devontae Adams jersey and it was too big for him, so he sent it to me and gave it to me. I got it yesterday.
Was it a legit one?
Yeah, it's got the painted on numbers, but it's a real jersey. It's from NFL.com.
Oh, that's what's up. Hell yeah. Yeah, you can usually tell because they've got the real jerseys got like the kind of painted on numbers, whereas like the bootleg ones, they come with the stitched on kind of jerseys and that. But you can still get good ones from them.
The real ones are stitched too. You can tell the difference between the real ones and the China ones though, because the real ones that are stitched, typically the numbers are more silver than they are gray. Unlike the China jerseys, they're more gray than they are silver.
Right, and they're what you call the game worn variant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the painted on ones are the elite jerseys, right?
No, the elite jerseys are the real stitched jerseys.
Okay. I kind of like the feel of the painted on ones anyway. So you save a bit of money as well.
Yeah, I mean, compared to an elite jersey costs you like $300, bro. Those painted ones are like $100.
You wash those a couple times and it's done though. It's a wrap.
That's why you gotta take them to the dry cleaner, bro. You can't wash them in your washing machine, bro.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Well, my Nike ones are still 100%, and I've put them to the wash a few times. It was the old school Reebok ones. Remember those ones? They were the ones that were notorious for
with
fading.
The holes in the numbers and shit. The holes right. Off of jerseys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school.
Right MG says to put you in the bathroom. What do you got to say about that, Ben?
You can't put me in the bathroom, bro. I don't make stupid takes, motherfucker. Unless I'm drunk for high on mushrooms or something.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink and go on the live, because I don't know. I'd probably say some out of pocket things, and I don't want to do that.
my content would probably be like more out there if I didn't drink and smoke and cuss and shit, bro. But I can't change who I am, dog, for a view, bro. I'll never do that. You know what I mean? So,
right. And a lot of shit, your shit, like, I mean, you say some things, but it's not like completely out of pocket compared to some of the other guys who might get on the scene drunk and high or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I say out of pocket shit, but it's only towards particular individuals, and all of us know who those particular individuals are.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
The kind of guys like you were referencing, Afakasi, the kind of guys that get all these subscribers and shit that want to act like they're the king of something and don't want to see nobody else succeed. Those guys.
Right. I mean, for me, like, no matter how far I take this, I don't forget about the people who have helped me along the way, whether I've had one subscriber. I mean, once upon a time, I started off with what? Like, doing a live stream just to nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, my first couple of live streams were just me and, Port Adelaide Raider just talking shit, babbling on about nonsense, and nobody was watching, you know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, when me, Nate, and Jack started the podcast, bro, we had like 2 people watching and shit when we very first started. Now we hit like 60, 70 people like every single Friday night. So it takes time, bro. It's all about consistency and time, bro.
For sure. It's like the right people will find you if you stay consistent with it. I mean, like when I started off with this, I was trying to go by Australian time, and I tried to cater towards the Australian audience. I reached out to the Australian Facebook page that was supposed to be the Raider Nation of Australia, and I reached out to them, and I found Tatted along the way. That's still my dude to this day, and maybe 1 or 2 others. But outside of that, my Australian so-called brothers and sisters, they didn't want to know about me. It wasn't until like the likes of Terrence, the likes of Sean J. See, I don't forget, those were my day ones. They were the guys who found me, and then they started sharing me out, and I started getting most of you guys like coming consistently onto my channel. And that's when I was just like, well, you know what? The hell with my Australian so-called brothers and sisters. They're not going to support me, so why the fuck should I cater for those motherfuckers?
Hey, Rafa, your content does suck, bro. You know how you can make your content better? Go get a fucking translator, dog. Then we can understand what the fuck you're saying. No, I'm just fucking with you, Rafa.
Hey, Rafa, you put out some consistent stuff. You get some views, so don't be so hard on yourself, my friend.
Hey, Rafa, you should do more content with you in fucking basketball shorts with no draws on, bro, on the Olympic or something, bro. Maybe you'll get some more views.
Hey, don't do that, Rafa. He's gonna take it later.
No, let him take. Fuck off, Nate. You're ruining it, motherfucker. God damn it! Why y'all gotta ruin it, motherfucker?
You can't play with Rafa like that, bro. He doesn't know.
That's the point of fucking with Rafa. I know he doesn't know. That's why I fuck with him, because I want to get him to the point to where he starts to know. After you do it so many times, you figure motherfucker will start to realize he's just getting fucked with.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't
See
know.
that. Salute to you. Good to see you in the feed, my friend. Well, me and you, Nate, and you as well on your own feed, in your own lives, Ben, we've been able to educate Rafa in the ways, like he's admitted to being a Raider fan, like since I think 2020, 2021. And he's with the help of us, we've been able to help him along the way with some of the hip hop happenings and what's going on with the team. I mean, even the little things like, our little slogan, Raider Nation, Raider Nation for life, win, lose, or tie. Raider Nation till what?
Till we motherfucking die. Hey, I've suggested that he does the play-by-play in Spanish.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
He could get a whole fucking his own audience doing that play-by-play in Spanish.
Because the Raiders actually got a play-by-play guy that does it in Spanish too.
Yep. Not on YouTube though.
That's what I'm saying. Not on YouTube.
Yep. I'm sure there's an audience out there, Rafa. That's something to maybe start working on.
Speaking of play calling, I don't know if I told you, Raider Ben, but for week 1, I was away on vacation in I was in Bali at the time, and my streaming service where I usually watch games internationally didn't work. It's the first year where in my 11 years of subscribing to Game Pass where they changed it from Game Pass to DAZN, and for some reason it didn't work in this other country, even though I downloaded a VPN, all that crap, and I try to watch like other streams, none of them work. So I was like, well, fuck this, I'm just going to tune into Raider Ben. And I actually had just as much fun, if not more fun, listening to you calling the plays and that, and I did actually watch the game. So I hadn't had that much fun listening to a game being called and listening to the play calls since the days of Greg Puffer, when I was able to, in my early days before I got Game Pass, the only way I was able to tune into Raider football was listening to the old play calls from Greg Puffer, but they stopped doing that. And I thought I'd share that with you, Ben. Look to you.
I try to be as closest to Greg Papa as I can, bro, because Greg Papa was a Raiders fan. You know what I mean? He was passionate about the shit. So that's just all I try to do, bro. And I try to be as insightful as possible, because I know when I'm listening, and when I used to listen to the radio, I would want to know everything that's going on the field, bro. So that's why I try to talk as much as I can.
Right. I think after a touchdown, maybe it was a game-winning touchdown, you did a freestyle. I was sitting in my bed listening. I was like, hey.
Dude, I did an arms wide open freestyle, bro, and I was talking about fucking somebody's bitch, bro. My girl came in the room and was like, what did you just say? I'm like, oh fuck, my bad. I didn't mean it like that. I was just rapping, bro. My bad.
Oops.
Fucking Dark was in my chat, was like, Raider Ben's getting chewed out, and I'm like, yep. My girl just said, what the fuck are you talking about?
No fear, right? Except from the wifey or from mom.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Yep.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Careful now, you don't want your wifey to walk in.
Oh,
right?
I know.
What'd you say, Nate?
Oh shit! I gotta go. Hold up.
For sure. All right. Well, look. I mean, how many days is it now till football? Is it? I keep
3 days.
It's fucking with me like 3 days, right? Yeah. It was a short turnaround. We got the Patriots, another home game. How do you feel about us going into this week, Bentham?
I'm confident as always, bro. The Patriots are dog shit, bro, but I mean, that's not saying much. It ain't like we're any world-beating team, but their offense is absolute dog shit, bro. They've been outscored the last 2 weeks 70-3. So if we can't take advantage of a bad football team, a team that's got a lot of drama around them right now because right now they're saying that this might be Bill Belichick's last year, blah, 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 blah. The Raiders are going to be in bad shape. I've always said this, bro. Like, good teams are expected to beat bad teams. And if we want to consider ourselves a good team, the Patriots are a bad team, bro. We got to beat them, dog. If we lose to the Patriots, bro, it's at home. And Patriots fans aren't known for traveling, dude. Like, their fan base will sell out Gillette, but they don't travel like that. So if our stadium is full of fucking Raider fans, at least more than halfway, and we go out there and lay an egg to the fucking Patriots, who are absolute dog shit, like, now I might start questioning Josh McDaniels, bro, to be honest.
I heard an interesting stat, and salute to Critique. I heard it on his channel. As dog shit as the Patriots have been, their offense is actually ranked, I think, 3 or 4 spots higher than our offense, which is pretty
Actually,
sad.
No, their offense is the 32nd ranked offense. Afakasi, they're only averaging 12.7 points per game.
Oh,
they got the worst offense in the NFL.
All right, well, I stand corrected because I haven't seen that. I didn't do my own research. I just listened to what he said. Apparently,
because if you're subscribed to the NFL on YouTube, they do game previews every week. And I watched the Raiders versus Patriots game preview. The only thing the Patriots are good at is stopping the run. Their defense is ranked like 30th. Their offense is ranked like 32nd. Like, they're terrible, dude.
Duval, salute. You're a new viewer to the stream. I appreciate you. I think that's a Jaguars fan, but appreciate you stopping by. Salute. Okay, well, that's news to me. Okay, so that's something. But like, to your point though, they're not a good team, and if we really want to keep the ball rolling, like we got to put these bad teams away. You know what I mean? And hopefully, it's a game where it's not even close because, you know, just win, baby, of course. But like, it'd be nice to have a statement win. How long has it been since we had like a full blown domination? I cannot remember the last time.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro. It's been a while. And it's funny you bring that up because I just posted a short too of Devontae Adams at the press conference. He said that, you know, our offense did enough to win, but at the end of the day, we should this isn't verbatim, you know what I'm saying, not word for word because I don't know his exact words, but he pretty much said this offense should be scoring a lot more points, bro. Like, a lot more points. We shouldn't be, you know, scoring 17 a game. So he said our offense is too explosive.
With the likes of Devontae, with the likes of Jacobs, Renfro admittedly hasn't been getting involved, but Jacoby Myers has been doing really well. Like, we've got playmakers there. We should be scoring more than 20 points. I mean, to be averaging what? How many points are we averaging a game?
I think 15, we're averaging like
17?
15, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I did highlight on my last live though, and salute to Jack Bauer because he was the one who said it. And cool Kev, I see you in the building. Good to see you, my friend. Jack was saying like he hopes to see the offense get more creative and be more diverse. And like, you know, look, I'm one of the loudest critiques in the room when it comes to my displeasure with Josh McDaniels, but in my personal opinion, I believe that they at least tried last week. You know what I mean? I saw more guys getting targeted, like being diverse, like with who gets the ball. I saw some creativity with the play calling, like, you know, they were running jet sweeps and some flea flickers. And remember that lateral pass to Josh Jacobs where it was supposed to be a lateral back to Jimmy G, but then Jacobs spotted that there was a player that was there, so he ended up having to run the ball. So, you know, they at least tried getting creative with the play calling. So I can at least appreciate that. Shows a little bit of progress, right?
Hell yeah. Yep.
I mean, and last week's game was the first game where we seen Jimmy Garoppolo actually spread the ball around. I think there was like 7 different Raiders who had a reception in that game. You know what I mean? That's what we need because teams are going to key in on Devontae. That's why Jacoby's doing his thing. But when Devontae Adams is dealing with that injury, because obviously he's injured, he's not going to be as effective, you know what I mean? So you got to find a way to get everybody else involved, especially the tight end. Like, it was cool to see Michael Mayer finally do something. Like, they threw the ball to Michael Mayer, and I don't know if you guys seen it, but it looked like college to him. Like, people were afraid to come up and tackle him. The first dude that tried to tackle him, dude, he was scared. Like, it took him like a half a second to react. Like, oh, fuck, I need to go tackle this dude.
Yeah.
It's probably because he was second guessing.
Yeah, he definitely hesitated.
And to your point, Bantha, sorry, Nate, like, yeah, that's why I believe Devontae didn't get as many targets as usual, because he's still injured.
Yeah,
and that even though he's hurt, he's still going to provide value, because they were still double teaming him. So if he's out there at least running route, he's still that threat that they're going to have to scheme against. And like, they don't know that he's 100% hurt. They might do. I don't know. They probably know what we know. But like the fact that they were still double covering him, you know what I mean? Like that opens things up for other players, even if he is hurt. So,
great decoy.
That's why I believe that like he didn't get as many targets last week as he would previously in previous weeks.
Yeah, like Nate just said, bro, he's a great decoy. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's not catching the ball, teams have to account for him, because if they leave him open, bro, the Raiders are going to throw him the football. You know what I mean? So they gotta account for him regardless if he's getting catches or not. I'm sure Davante Adams don't give a fuck about having 4 receptions for 40 yards as long as we win the game. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because Davante Adams is at this point in his career, yeah, he wants to break some records like he said, but at the end of the day, he came here to win, and he wants to help return his childhood team to greatness. And the only way we're going to do that is by winning games, and Jimmy Garoppolo's got to spread the ball around. So,
right.
Because that's one thing Carr was good at. Carr was good at spreading the ball around.
Yeah, for sure. Just being efficient enough to get the job done, whether it's to Devontae or utilizing our other weapons. But this is comment here. Hope Crosby feasts Sunday, and we have a smooth performance. Last year was weekly high blood pressure. Sure, score more, but still fourth quarter, 1 score BS. Let's fucking go this weekend. Absolutely. I mean, Crosby's always going to do Crosby things, much like Devontae's going to do Devontae things. But it's good to see that the defense outside of Crosby has also been stepping up in the last few weeks. You know what I mean? I really like what I've seen from for the most part, our young defensive lineup. Jenkins, a guy nobody talked about in the offseason, myself included, has been a guy that's kind of emerging as that interior guy. I mean, how many times have I said it? We really need someone to emerge from the interior. And the guys we were hoping it would be, none of them have proved to be that yet. But Jenkins is a guy, I thought he's done a pretty good job, like, clogging up the middle and making some plays. Like one of those run stuffs was him and who was it? Bilal Nichols teaming up to stuff him for a key loss or whatever, maybe on third down, I believe.
Hey, Bilal Nichols looks a little more stout right now too. I've been hard on him all off season, but he does look a little more stout. So yeah, I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, the last.
And isn't it? Sorry.
No, go.
Doesn't it seem like whenever we do find defensive tackles, though, guys, it's always like the aging veteran. The Andrew Billings, the Quentin Jeffersons, the Jonathan Hankins, we have more. We have more success finding aging veteran defensive tackles than we do drafting young defensive tackles or going out there and signing young defensive tackles. It's always the veteran guys that always play the best on the interior of our defensive line. So, just weird. It seems like every year we get one particular veteran D tackle that sticks out. Like last year, it was Billings, but then we let him go to Chicago. You know what I mean? So
it's been a sad state of affairs when you look at our recent draft history with defensive tackles. It's not like we haven't been trying, but we haven't even found someone semi-decent. I mean, you look at the names. I mean, Byron Young, is still early. Nestor Silvera, at least he shows some things, but look at those two cats from last year. One's not even on our roster. The other guy is languishing on the practice squad, might get cut sooner or later. Before that, look, PJ Hall, Jihad Ward, friggin' Eddie Vander Dozen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a real sad, sorry state of affairs. Surely, sooner or later, we got to get it right with drafting one of these interior guys. Maybe Nestor can be the guy. Like, he at least showed some more things in his little game time than I'd seen from the likes of Farrell, Butler, and friggin' Byron Young, if I'm going to be honest. Like,
well, let's be real. It's not just the defensive tackle position. Every single fucking draft, we just don't know how to draft defense, bro. We can't draft. We never draft any good D tackles. We never draft any linebackers. Most of the time when we draft a corner, he's a bust. DJ Hayden, Garyon Conley, Damon Arnett, all these dudes, never been able to hit on none of those. Safeties we draft high are always garbage. Fucking Obi Melon Fonwu, all those fucking dudes that we drafted. Carl Joseph, John Abram. You know what I'm saying? We can't draft defense at all.
Huff was all right.
And that's a problem.
Right.
He was all right. He couldn't get that second contract with us.
Hey,
Who are you talking about?
Look, my brother.
Michael Huff.
Michael Huff, I thought was solid. I thought he was a better corner than he was at safety, bro. We gave him 1 year at corner and got rid of him, though.
Yep.
Even at safety, like, look, he was never a household name, but like, for me, the best safety tandem we've had in recent history was him and Tyvon Branch. Like, yeah, we had Charles Woodson, but when we had Charles Woodson, who was the other guy? You know what I'm saying? It was basically Charles Woodson, and that's it. But Tyvon Branch and Michael Huff, I thought, like, look, he was never a superstar, but I thought he did okay. He did his part when he was with the Raiders. But yeah,
he'll forever be legendary for that interception against the Texans when Al Davis died, bro. So he'll go down as a Raider legend for that, bro. Because there was only 10 men on the field when we made that fucking interception. So
yeah, I spoke of that I can speak of that play in detail. Like that's something that I stress, that if you were a diehard Raider, that the moment a game you will not forget.
Yeah, I'll never forget that game.
Yeah, I've said it before. Like, that was probably the most emotional I've been post game, was that game, and that's why for me it was something you don't forget. The post Al Davis death, as well as like the fact that at that time the Texans were a white hot team, like a Super Bowl contending team. And the fact we went to their house and came out with a win, you know, that was an unforgettable moment.
Yeah, and we kind of got fucking lucky, bro, because Matt Schaub honestly probably could have ran that shit in, bro. But he chose not to run it in. He threw a floater and it got picked off by Michael Huff.
Well, that was because
pussy.
Well, if you remember, like, because it was Lamar Houston who put pressure on him from the right side, and Matt Schaub, he rolled out to the left. Tyvon Branch was there in coverage in the end zone, but he came off his assignment to make the tackle, so he was heading straight for Matt Schaub, and that's why he kind of lobbed it over him, and like Michael Huff just came out of nowhere, snatched the ball, divine interception, and Michael, Al Davis, R.I.P., the Godfather, my Godfather. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a lot to do with that play. You know what I mean? Like, he was the 11th man on the field that play. So, yeah, a great move.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. That'll always go down in Raiders history, bro. As probably one of the greatest interceptions ever. Just because, like you said, that was a really good football team. They had Andre Johnson. They had Arian Foster in his prime. They had J.J. Watt. Like, they had a really good team, dude. We beat
Mario Williams. Remember him? He was like an
all-pro. Mario Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They had Brian Cushing before
when
Brian
he came
Cushing
to the
got
Raiders.
hurt.
At that time, Matt Schaub was one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, they had Brian Cushing, who was in his prime still. They had Jonathan Joseph. They had Jonathan Joseph, who was in his prime because he was originally drafted by the Texans. That was his first team. So they had a real good fucking team, dude, and we beat them. So
yeah, like I said, they were a white hot Super Bowl contending team at the time. And like you said, the household name was Andre Johnson. I mean, and at a time when you had like Calvin Johnson at his peak and a few other wide receivers, he was
Randy Moss
up there in that. Yeah, Randy Moss. He was up there in that top 3, top 4 wide receivers in the league. And to come away with the win, like, I have a real big place in my heart for that team, that 2011 Raiders roster. For me, one of my favorite Raider teams, and it broke my heart when they didn't make the postseason that year. But yeah,
was that the year that we went fucking 6-0 in our division and still missed the playoffs?
Yeah,
was that year? Yeah, that's fucking exciting.
Yeah.
We led the league in rushing, I believe.
Yeah, well, we had McFadden when he was healthy until he went down to turf toe, and Michael Bush was still able to carry the load, not as well, but he was a different kind of runner.
I loved Bush. I loved the way.
Yeah, I loved Michael Bush, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Michael Bush ended John Gruden's tenure as a Buccaneer, bro. John Gruden was fired right after that game because they had to beat us to make it into the playoffs, and Michael Bush ran for like 230 yards or something stupid. And on like the final drive where we just had to run the ball to seal the game, the Buccaneers had like their whole team in the box, bro. And Michael Bush was still running them over, bro. Shit was insane.
Right. Yeah, Michael Bush is probably one of the better complementary backs that we've had in recent history. I really like Michael Bush. But yeah, it was just a real shame. Like I was heartbroken when we didn't make the playoffs that year. I mean, we only needed to win one of the last 2 games that year. Do you remember that? We went to play the Lions in Detroit. Aaron Curry took a ball on the defensive side of the ball back for a touchdown, and we took the lead. I think we were up by like 5 or something with like a minute and a half left. And then we had them pinned deep in their territory, 3rd and long. So what happens? We call a cover 2. Somehow, some way, we had Rolando McClain on one-on-one coverage with Calvin
Johnson. Yep.
Johnson. Sure enough,
yep.
Matthew Stafford throws a deep ball, connects with Calvin Johnson, who goes for like 60 yards, puts them in range,
and they end up scoring the touchdown
and winning the game.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was the game. That was pretty much the game-winning throw right there, bro.
It was, and you know what made me more furious is that like before the halftime, we went for it on fourth and 2 instead of kicking a field goal. And if we'd have kicked said field goal, we would have been up 8 points. We would have won the game. We didn't. We lost that game. We came home, played the Chargers.
The Chargers and lost that game too.
And we got blown the F out.
Hey, who was the head coach? Who was the?
I think Norv Turner.
Our coach, Hugh Jackson.
No, he's talking about who was the head coach of the Chargers. Oh, you're talking about who was the head coach of the Raiders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was either Hugh or Tom Cable, one of them. I think it was Hugh Jackson.
It was Hugh because it was his decision to go for it on that 4th and 2, and he went for it instead of kicking a field goal. Sure enough, we didn't get it. Like I think, who was it? What's that? Who was our quarterback that took over from Jason Campbell? Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer.
I think he tried to connect with Denarius Moore for an incompletion, and yeah, I mean the rest is history. But yeah, salute to you, Brian Rodriguez. Curry was a 4th pick overall for the Seahawks. He never became a star. No, he didn't. But like to be honest, like the year he came to the Raiders, he wasn't too bad. He wasn't glaringly bad like a lot of the other linebackers we've had in the room. But
yeah. See, my memory isn't as good as yours because I smoked too much weed. But I remember like Aaron. I remember when we got Aaron Curry, bro. I'm like, this dude might be nice because he was a top pick by Seattle. He had one good year for us. I believe in the second year he got injured or some shit, and then we never saw him again.
Yeah, well, I think after his tenure with the Raiders, that was it. He was out of the league.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him for that
what
one.
What position
season.
was he?
He was a linebacker, an outside linebacker, I believe. I think it was him and McClain was our linebackers, and we had somebody else.
McClain and Wembley.
Wembley.
Wembley. Yeah, like
Cameron Wembley was a good fucking player, bro.
He was. That defensive lineup for me was the best defensive lineup we've had since my time as a Raider fan. I mean, that was the weak spot of the defense. Like Rolando McClain didn't pan up for us. I hate that guy. Aaron Curry. Cam Wembley was nice, but when you look at the rest of the roster, we had like what? Richard Seymour, Lamar Houston, Trevor Scott,
Tom Kelly was still there.
Asamoah, Stanford Rout before he became a number 1. We pegged on him. We planned on him being a number 1, which he just wasn't. But as a number 2, he was all right. Tyvon Branch and what's his name, Michael Huff. So it was.
Didn't we have Chris Johnson too?
Yeah, Chris Johnson, Tommy Kelly. There's another one. Sorry, I forgot him. Tommy Kelly.
Yeah, Chris Johnson. I remember that year when we played
line too feared at the time.
I remember that. I remember the year we played the Broncos with Chris Johnson, and we beat them 59-14. The first play of the game was a pick six by Chris Johnson. Yeah. Kyle Orton threw that shit into the flat, and Chris Johnson said, "Nope, that's mine."
That for me is like remember when we beat down the Jets opening, I think the second game of 2016.
Yeah, 2017. Yep.
Were the 2 biggest beatdowns that we've been able to inflict on other teams in my time as a Raider fan. Like I do remember that was one of my earliest memories was the Raiders, the Mile High mauling when we beat the brakes off the Broncos. What was like 57-14,
59-14.
Right, there you go. Zach Miller was doing his thing. Darren McFadden was doing his thing. The defense was doing the thing. I just want to see one of those again. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe this week against a Patriots team, that would be nice if we can do it at home, right?
Seems like the Broncos like getting blown out. They gave up 70 this year. So
I wonder who the Broncos
when they lose,
coach
they want to lose bad to where it hurts because they like it when it hurts.
That's a good one. Can you tell me, Nate?
I wonder who the Broncos coach was at that time. Oh, McDaniels.
McDaniels.
Yeah. I know who that was. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that, but yeah, it sounds about right, McDaniels.
Yeah. McDaniels was their coach 2009 to, I think, 2010.
That's why I've said before, if he could pull this off and turn this Raider season around, he'll probably be the greatest Raider head coach of all time in my book. He went over there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, he went over there and sabotaged the Broncos and the Colts. He came over here and made us a winner. So that's what I'm hoping for, guys. Well,
yeah, I'm hoping for that too. He was head coach for between 2010 and 2011 because his very first draft pick was, can you guess?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow, yeah. And it was when they ousted Josh McDaniels. That's when they started Tim Tebow, and the whole Tebow mania kind of took over. But,
yeah, because after they drafted Tim Tebow, that's when Josh McDaniels got caught cheating, and then he got fired that year. And then they took over and won a playoff game with Tim Tebow.
Yeah, because I remember
people can say what they want, but Josh McDaniels helped build that Broncos team, dog, that went to the Super Bowl a couple of years after that. You know what I'm saying? He was part of that. Him and fucking who else was part of that? That's on the Raiders now. Fucking trying to think. But yeah, he helped build that team, bro. Like he drafted a lot of those guys, and then fucking what's his face took over. What's that coach's fucking name that won the Super Bowl? That old fuck, John Fox. Then John Fox took over and then just kind of built on top of it. But like Elvis Dumervil was there already. I think they got Von Miller just shortly after McDaniels was fired.
Yeah, they did.
If McDaniels wasn't there, but he helped kind of build that team. TJ Ward was there, that safety they had. That dude was good. I believe Chris who's that slot corner that used to play for the fucking Broncos? Chris Harris Jr., I believe, was there.
Mm-hmm.
So they had some pieces, bro.
Yeah, but they couldn't get it done while McDaniels was there, and then they started to put it together once he was ousted. I've heard a few interviews when like from players that were saying like McDaniels was good at like he was able to like it was like he knew what the other opposition was doing. You know, it's like he was able to call out the plays before they even happened and materialized, and that's when the whole cheating scandal kind of went down, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, well, let's remember, though, guys. I don't know if you guys remember, but when the Broncos hired Josh McDaniels, they didn't let Josh McDaniels hire his own staff. They forced him to keep the staff that was already there. So Josh McDaniels had to work with something that he wasn't even familiar with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of off topic relating to this season, bro, like, I'm telling you guys right now, if our offensive line was playing better and we were running the football, we would not be 2-3 right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's been our main deficiencies on the offensive side of the ball. Is that offensive line has been a major disappointment. I mean, I didn't think about this before, but like, do you think like the fact that we changed, like, because I mean, it's been pretty much mostly the same lineup, and there was arguments that were made that they were a top 10 offensive line. From the eye test, I didn't personally see that, but they were definitely better than what they've been this season. And the only thing that's really changed is that our offensive line coach implemented a new scheme, right? So do you think maybe that's got something to do with it? Are we running zone or power scheme now?
I thought it was a zone.
I think we're running zone scheme now. I think we ran a power scheme last year.
Yeah.
And zone running never works for the Raiders. You guys remember when we had Darren McFadden and we ran a power scheme most of the time, bro, and then they switched over to a zone, and then Darren McFadden couldn't do shit.
Yeah,
almost the same situation that's going on right now, bro.
That's when we had the likes of Mike Brazel or some crap at guard.
Yeah.
I mean, we had like Jared Valdir, Stefan Wisniewski, who were good linemen. But like I do remember that when we tried to implement that zone running scheme, because we were one of the best running attacks in the league. Granted, McFadden wasn't the same runner he once was, but like we went from being one of the best to one of the worst within the space of like a year. And 2012 and 2013, we really struggled with that. I remember that zone run blocking scheme being pretty friggin' bad. And who was our coordinator? It was what's his name? Greg Knapp. Greg take a dirt.
Yeah, it may have been Greg Knapp.
Yeah, I think it was. I think he came back for a year. But granted, like, you know, I've said it how many times, like in that period between 2012 and 2014, we were a team in flux. We had no draft capital because of the trades, and we had no salary cap.
No cap. We had no cap space because of Jamarcus Russell's bum ass.
Because of like the Jamarcus Russell contract and whatever else, all these other bad contracts before 2012 and 2013, and that for me like was probably the worst Raiders lineup that we'd had in a while. But like when I compare that lineup to our offensive struggles this year, like there's no like at least that in that time frame we had an excuse. This year there's no excuse as to why we cannot be more efficient than what we are when it comes to putting points and scoring and that. So it needs to be better, you know, especially with the
only excuse you can make is that fucking Greg Van Roten is fucking terrible, and so is Jermaine Illuminor, dog. Because if you go back and look at the Packers game, we couldn't really run the football until Illuminor got taken out, and then they put Munford in. They started running off that right side, and Munford was moving people. You know what I mean? So Jermaine Illuminor, I don't know if he's injured, if what, but it seems like he cannot get his hands on defensive linemen, bro. Like they just swipe his hands away as soon as he grabs them. They just swipe his hand away every single fucking time and get in the backfield. It's fucking stupid. Don't even make sense.
Right.
I think it's like a bicep. Something's going on. Yeah, you're right, man. My bad.
It's going to be coming out here, but before I do, Nate, I know you've got to carry on with your day. Do you have much more time left?
Yeah, let's do it.
And Benta, I appreciate you stopping by, even though you're working. Like, you know, you can stay as
good, bro.
If you need to go, like, I understand.
I'm gonna take lunch here in like 20 minutes, so I have time.
Awesome. No, I appreciate you pulling up, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on my stream. But this comment here by Raider Pete, salute to you. How many think Renfro is deliberately being targeted only once or twice per game just to hold his health and trade value? Well, his trade value is only going to go down if he's not getting targeted at the ball, right?
Yep. Yeah, he don't have, in my opinion, he don't have a lot of trade value right now, bro. Like, we got to find a team that is losing, that is in desperate need for like a go-to receiver, bro. It's the only way we're trading him. And that's why I feel like the Raiders should be talking to the Panthers, dog, because the Panthers, they have Thielen, bro, but he's older. DJ Chark really isn't all that. Bryce Young don't have like a go-to guy. And I think Renfro can be a go-to guy if he's utilized the right way. And there's rumors that the Raiders may be interested in Brian Burns. I don't know if the Panthers would make that trade, but I don't want Brian Burns, bro. I would rather take their defensive tackle, Derek Brown, bro. They have a defensive tackle named Derek Brown they took in the first round a couple years ago, dude. That dude's one of the most underrated D tackles in the league. Like, he's an instant double-team demander every single game.
Yeah.
I just wish they would find a way to – sorry, Nate, you go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I think Renfro's is too identical to Adam Thielen. He's a younger Adam Thielen maybe, so I don't think that's going to move the needle for them. And they're missing a bunch of draft picks already from trading up, from trading for Bryce Young. I don't think that's a good trade partner, my opinion. But it could be. I don't know.
Saints is an interesting one that he had that chemistry with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't see the Saints having any real defensive players that we could use, bro. You know what I mean? And the only teams that are really going to trade good players right now are teams that look like shit. You know what I mean? Like they're going to start fire selling, bro. These teams that are 1-4, 0-5, like those teams are the teams that the Raiders are going to have the best opportunity to trade with. And to your point of saying that Hunter Renfro is another version of Thielen, that's a selling point for the Raiders because Thielen, when he was younger, he was really, really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But I think Hunter Renfro is just small.
But to what you were saying, like these teams that are on fire sale mode, they're going to want to trade more for. They're going to be looking at more at capital and rebuilding through the draft rather than looking for player-on-player swaps, right?
Well, from what I heard, the Panthers, they're not even interested in draft picks, bro. They want a player-for-player pick or a player-for-player trade is what I heard from the Panthers. But they definitely could use some picks, bro, because they traded their first-round pick, I think, to the Bears, and they might have the number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
Viking could be another one. Receiver Justin Jefferson is hurt. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess just for me, like, it's just really disappointing that, like, Renfro, who up until now has been a very good Raider, and he had one down year last year, but up until then, he was one of, if not the best slot wide receivers in the game. And in a Patriots system that was able to utilize the likes of Edelman, the likes of Amendola to the best of their abilities, I don't see why it's not the case with Renfro being he's a good receiver. And there was many a times in those first two games where I noticed he was getting wide open. He's not even getting looked at. Like, it just it boggles my mind that they're not utilizing him better. Like, he's a better player than what the stat line and the receptions are showing. Like, I wish we could find a way to get him going and get him to find his mojo again, so to say, but it's just not happening as the weeks go by, right?
Well, that just goes to show you, Afakasi, like, when you have a quarterback that has chemistry with his receivers, of course they're going to be better. You know what I'm saying? Hunter Renfrow probably would have had a better year last year, say, if he didn't get injured. But this year, now he's got a completely new quarterback. So they got no chemistry. And I don't know how y'all feel, but I've always said, like, Renfro's route running is very limited, bro, because he's slow. Like, he's only really good at them China routes because he's very agile and, like, option routes. But that's what a lot of the Patriots used to do back in the day. I just think it's more of a chemistry thing with him and Jimmy G, bro. I just don't think they have chemistry, dude.
I get that, like, he's got those China routes, which is what he's known for. But, like, at the same time, like, when I'm talking about when it was getting wide open in those initial games, like, I saw on two plays specifically where he ran just a standard dig route and he wasn't even getting looked at. He was wide open for a big game, and Jimmy G just eyeballed Devontae and connected with him, but it was like a 4 or 5 yard gain. And then later on in the game, if you watch the replay on the interception, like, he rolled to his left and he didn't even look at the middle of the field. Renfro got wide open on one of those skinny post routes, and he had nothing but green grass in front of him. He burnt toast to safety. So those aren't like those China routes that he's known for. Those to me are just standard routes that he's running, and he's not even getting looked at.
Deceptively fast. That's the best way to describe Renfro.
Right.
Well, to address what you said about, because I did see that play where he was running wide open in the end zone. He split the middle of the cover two and was wide open. I remember that.
Yep.
But this is the issue, right, guys? It's stemming all the way since Josh McDaniels has been here. It was an issue last year. We do not utilize the middle of the fucking football field, bro. We don't throw down the middle. Hunter Renfrow goes down the middle. That's why he was getting a lot of receptions under Carr, and Carr wasn't afraid to throw them seam routes under John Gruden. We have tight ends that can run down the middle. How often do we utilize the middle? Look at all the games we played this year. We never throw seam routes. Never. You get tight ends to run straight down the middle of the field to get matchups on linebackers, and we never take advantage of that, dog. It's a Josh McDaniels thing is what that is, bro. He's not throwing down the middle of the field. And with an offense as high-powered as ours, you've got to utilize all blades of grass. Teams are shading their defense to the outside because we have Myers and Devontae who are outside the number wide receivers, and they're leaving the middle of the field wide open, and we're just not using it.
Well, do you remember in preseason, Aiden O'Connell was at least doing he did a very good job of utilizing the middle on a few occasions in those first two games, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, granted, it's preseason and it's against second and third stringers, but like, get the job done then. Like,
you know who was in charge of calling the plays in the preseason, right?
Enlighten me.
It was our offensive coordinator, I believe.
Lombardi. He was calling plays in the preseason. Yeah.
You know, I keep forgetting his name because it's like I always think it's just McDaniels and being the coach and the offensive play caller. Like I keep forgetting who our offensive coordinator even is.
Michael Lombardi.
And that's another thing I think people are starting to talk about. I've said this right away since game one. I think McDaniel needs to give up either play calling duties or he needs to get some kind of situational coach in there. Or the other coaches got to help out with situational purposes. You know what I mean? You've got to be more in touch with the game and and better playmaking decision. And
well, let's make a clear example, Nate. The Chiefs offense got much better when Andy Reid stopped calling as many plays and let fucking Bieniemy call some plays. Like you can still call plays, but like let your offensive coordinator get some tune in with what we want to do on offense, bro. Like you gotta get somebody else's insight, bro. Like a head coach, dude, you might be an offensive whatever guru, whatever these cocksuckers want to say about you, dog. But at the end of the day, coaches have to worry about the entire team, not just the offense. McDaniels got too much on his plate, and his ego is getting in the way of letting Michael Lombardi call some plays, bro. And it's hurting us.
Yep.
For sure. And Charles Washington, salute to you. Good to see you in the feed. You have to pick your poison when you have a player like DA. You have to feed him or lose him. We did speak of, I don't know if you caught it, we were talking about Devontae earlier and his lack of touches last week. I personally believe, like some Raider fans were questioning why wasn't he getting more involved, but like I think it was more of a case of like it seemed like it seemed like a more dastardly injury than what he was willing to show when he got hurt against who did we lose to the week before? Was it the Steelers?
The Chargers.
The Chargers, yeah.
He got hurt against the Chargers.
Yeah, he got hurt against the Chargers. Like, granted, he did play the game, but I think, like, just my personal opinion, he was there for the most part just to run routes and to get double teamed, which is still going to be effective, being that that's going to open up like other wide receivers and tight ends or running backs and that.
Well, in my opinion, if I go back and recall the game last week against Green Bay, that shoulder was affecting Devontae Adams' release, bro. They were able to put their hands on him at the line of scrimmage, and he really wasn't able to win the hand battle, bro, because his shoulder was fucked up. You know, and Aaron Rodgers opening his fat fucking mouth with his broken fucking leg. Sit your dumb ass down somewhere, bitch. Devontae Adams was hurt. Devontae Adams didn't practice all week. We're lucky he even got on the fucking football field. And how are you going to sit here and try to say the Raiders got to throw him the ball, cocksucker? Who was it? He had like 20-something catches or 20-something targets against the team. It's not like we're not throwing him the football. It's just that particular game, he was coming off an injury. He didn't practice all week. Like, and at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if Devontae Adams has 1 catch, 100 catches. I don't care if we score 1 point, 20 points, because everybody's infatuated over this 20-point shit, bro. Like, I just want to win, bro. If you have a good defense, we don't got to score 20 points. We don't got to score 20 points, bro. Would it be nice? Yeah, it would be nice. But if our defense is holding motherfuckers to under 20 and we can score 17, 18 points, we're winning, and that's all that fucking matters, bro.
Yep. Hell yeah.
It's Raider fans will always find something to bitch about, bro. At least the ones that like to nitpick at everything, bro. Mm-hmm. It's like all right. Say I'll make an analogy here, right? The Raiders are like, you go to a warehouse job, right? And this warehouse has been around since like the 1920s, and you can easily nitpick at anything you want because how old it is and how bad it is, bro. So that's why I always try to stay positive, because it's too easy to put down the Raiders, bro. Like, that's easy. Anybody can come on here and be like, yeah, we suck. We've sucked for 20 years, blah, blah, blah. We ain't doing shit. Josh McDumbass. All that's easy, bro. That's easy work, bro. That's why I don't do that. You know, I come out this bitch and I try to give you guys reasons on why we can win, because it's you don't see too many people that are real about the fact that, you know, we've been bad, yeah, but it's too easy, bro. I feel like if you're gonna sit here and keep trying to say McDumbass, McClown, we suck, all that shit, it's easy to say that, dog. You know, because we've been trash. So that's why I just can't fuck with content creators that instead of being like making their own opinions on shit, they're just going off of, oh, well, we've been shit for 20 years. Well, we've been shit for 20 years. No fucking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to that point though, like, I mean, I have no qualms with, like, I mean, of course, it's only natural to nitpick and critique when we're losing, but like, you know, we won last week, so you know, I've been pretty loud and vocal with my criticism of the team up until last week. But hey, if we won a game, I'm gonna focus on the positives. We've done.
Hey, to be real, I think that's how the rest of the season's gonna be as well. It's gonna be close games, 1-score games, low-scoring games, and that's okay with me as long as we come up on top. I don't care how we win it. This is win, baby.
Don't care how, don't care why, just win.
Yep.
You know, I just hope that last week's win can be a momentum builder, and it's not just a one-off, and then we go back to trending downwards. I'm not even going to try and speak that into existence. Hopefully, like 1 week. I mean, our schedule is a very winnable schedule. You know what I mean? Like we've got the Patriots, a depleted Patriots. We've got a Bears team which is struggling too. So those are two games that, like, you know, 1 week at a time to take care of business. And then I believe the Lions are next, right? We're doing actually pretty good. They're one of the better teams in the league, right?
Yeah, they are. They're pretty good. They're legit. I think they're playing how we should be playing. They had a good running game. Their defense is playing pretty good. Their quarterback is efficient.
Look, bro, so kind of off topic, but I fell asleep. Like I told you guys, I fell asleep yesterday, right? I woke up, dog, and look what my girl's Chihuahua did to my AirPod, bro.
Ah, shit.
Just destroyed it, bro. So now I gotta go I got Apple Care, so I gotta go buy another one, but it's like $40. I told my girl when she got home from work, I was like, your fucking dog ate my fucking AirPod. Fuck that dog.
You know, you just
I have a
me,
bro. I have a pit bull, and my pit bull don't even chew on my shit, but this fucking cocksucking Chihuahua does. I fucking hate fucking Chihuahuas.
You just reminded me of something that I'd completely forgot about. Years ago, I was seeing someone, and we were in the middle of getting nitty gritty, if you know what I'm talking about. And I left my bag with like some of my bits and bobs like right next to the bed, and you know, when you're in the middle of, you know what, like you're not really paying attention to everything else, but I could hear the dog kind of getting busy with something. And then after the dust had settled, like I went to see my bag, and sure enough, the Chihuahua had rummaged through my bag and ate my headphones. You know, chewed it much like your headphones have been chewed up. So yeah,
bastard.
Yeah, it's fucked up because I really
triggered a little memory that I had stashed away. You showing?
I really only use my AirPods when I'm at work and when I do my show, bro. So I just bought a pair of headphones. So
yeah, for sure. But throw McSand in the bathroom, like. Again, like I've been very loud and vocal, and he still hasn't proven to me that he's a guy yet. Ever since he's been in the door, but like once again, I've actually come to his defense with last week. Like I believe that we tried to get creative with the offense and be a little bit more diverse. And I don't blame McDaniels going for a field goal on that 4th and short at the end of the game rather than going for it. I mean, for me, it was just like, this isn't Madden. Play the percentages. We've got Money Man Carlson, who up until last week, you would have bet the house that he was going to make that field goal and at least make it a touchdown lead in order for us to, you know, defend on the last drive of the game rather than like just being 4 points. I mean, if we'd have gone for it and we didn't get it, there would have been louder criticism. But look, we went for the field goal. We missed. Granted, you know, Carlson, he had an off game, but like, look, that's an anomaly, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I don't look at the shoulda, coulda, wouldas when we lose. The same way I'm not going to look at the shoulda, coulda, wouldas when we won. You know what I mean? Like, we won. That's all that matters. And yeah, that's just my little bit of tidbits on that.
Well, the thing going around now is if we're not good enough to compete in the playoffs, then why even go? Well, let's just go ahead and tank. I don't like that. I don't like that thinking at all. You're free to think however you want to think, but if that's the way you think, then I lose a little bit of respect. Yeah. Exactly what I'm talking about. Like you're already counting your eggs before you even get to the playoffs. Like, oh, we can't beat them. They're gonna beat our ass. What's the point? Let's just call it a day and go set up for the draft. Like that's weak, bro. That's so weak.
Fucking Raider Goon said that fucking headphone was fucking earwax treats for my dog, bro. You're fucking funny, bro.
Salute, Goon. Just this comment here. All off season, we thought this offense was going to eat. Blows my mind how our game adjustments are slow as crap. We are lucky we play against weak quarterback. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess like the disappointments on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, Josh McDaniels, you know, he has been getting criticized for his lack of adjustments, and maybe his play calling has been questionable. But like, offensively, when it comes to player execution, I mean, the offensive line and our quarterback situation hasn't been as efficient as what would have been ideal, unfortunately. But, Jimmy G, look, he threw a pick last week, but like at the end of the day, we did enough to get the job done, right?
Hey, and can we give some love to Trayvon Merrick, because I know I was one of the few guys that was still rooting for Trayvon Merrick, bro. And that dude's playing fucking good football right now, dude. He's like a top 10 or top 7 safety in the league right now, bro.
Is he?
Yeah. I'll show the numbers, because I seen the numbers on Twitter. I'll show them on the podcast tomorrow. But yeah, like in quarterback percentage when thrown his way, I think he's like 7th. Passer rating, he's like 9th. Catches given up, he's like fucking like 8th or something. Yeah, bro. Like in all the major categories for a safety, Trayvon Merrick is top 10 right now, bro.
And salute to you, Raider Ray. I see you in the building. Thanks for tapping in. Hope all is well. Doing big things on your own channel. Nate, how many times have I spoken the last few lives about my praise with Trayvon Merrick, a guy I've highlighted many times that needs a third-year leap, as well as the likes of Nate, as Divine Diablo, who's another player who's been a pleasant surprise, has taken that third-year leap. Nate Hobbs, before he got injured, has found his mojo again. But yeah, no, you're right. Trayvon Merrick, like I've been singing his praises on my live. Like he's been playing better than what, like, see, he was still copping criticism from quite a few people, but I was quick to say, well, look, like he leads the team in pass deflections. He was able to get his first INT last week. He hasn't been getting burnt, glaringly badly getting burnt toast. I think maybe one time in the first game or two he got burnt for a touchdown, but like for the most part, he's been doing his thing in coverage. And even with that one hand in a cast, he's been making his tackles, right? Like I haven't seen him missing tackles the way he did in his first 2 seasons. So yeah, Morig's been doing his thing, right? And you just highlighted
and also fucking the Raiders. I don't know. I think we're number 2. I think we're 2nd in the NFL in pass plays that haven't been given up that are more than 20 yards down the field. Like we haven't given up a ton of big plays this year, bro. And a lot of that has to do with Trayvon Merrick, yo. You guys have to understand that sophomore slump is real, bro. You know what I'm saying? And teams get film on you, bro, and they know your weaknesses and they take advantage. And it didn't help last year that Trayvon Merrick had to learn a completely new defense. He had to change his position from free safety to strong safety. He had to go to more of a cover 2, guard one side of the field safety compared to being a deep, single high safety. So there was a lot going against Trayvon Merrick last year. And the fact that he fucked his hip up.
Injury.
He fucked his hip up like week 1, bro. And when you're a safety or a defensive back, if you can't flip your hips, bro, like you're gonna get burned, dog. So he looks a lot better this year. You're seeing, and like back to what you said, Afakasi, that 3rd year, bro. Like that's when you want to see your players show out, bro. Is that 3rd season? Yeah. We see it from Divine. We're seeing it from Trayvon Merrick. So we'll see how it pans out. But for everybody that was shitting on Trayvon, I know I was one of the guys that was praising Trayvon. I remember every single fucking live stream, Mike G would be in my chat. Cut Trayvon Merrick. Cut Trayvon Merrick. I'm like, dog, just give him some time, bro. He's still a young player.
I criticized him too. I'm not going to toot my own horn and say I was exempt from that. No, I criticized the downward trend from his first 2/3 of his rookie year. But like, it's like I keep saying, like, I'm willing to give players concessions in terms of development and being that, like, right, your first 2 years, you still got to develop, but by year 3, that's when you know if a player's got it or they don't. And it's been good to see that the likes of Morig, he's putting it together. Diablo, he's definitely exceeding my expectations, doing really well. Nate Hobbs, like I said, found his mojo again, coming back into the slot and playing that box kind of cornerback / money backer. That's what you call the hybrid cornerback / linebacker, right? Money backer.
I don't know the official name for it, but yeah, like a hybrid linebacker.
I think that's the name for it. So he's been playing that money backer pretty efficiently. And even Malcolm Kuntz, like, yeah, he hasn't gotten home, and I want him to get home. Like, there's not a lack of effort and motor when I see him on the field. So it's good to see that 2021 draft class is starting to come along. You know what I mean? Like, being that it's their 3rd year. So yeah, I've been very vocal with my praise of Maury, but even like we haven't been giving. You said before we haven't been giving up big plays on the defensive side of the ball. We gave up one big play last week, and that was mostly due to a busted coverage. Like that was actually I think Amik and Epps, I believe, like they had a miscommunication.
Yeah,
where,
Epps is fucking garbage, bro. Fuck him, dude. He sucks,
right.
dude.
I think it was on that particular play. I think it was Amik who came off his assignment. Like he was supposed to, he stayed one-on-one with the guy, and then he came off and dropped into a flat zone. And I think that was the same zone that like Epps went to, and that's why that wide receiver was able to get wide open. And thank Christ, Marcus Peters, he scrambled to make the play, and he got mossed out of his boots. But on a whim, he made the horse collar tackle and ended up making the stop just before he got to the goal line. Granted, he got penalized, but they didn't score 7. They ended up having to settle for 3 because we made the stop, right? So.
Well, I thought Morg was a situational kind of guy. You know what I mean? He was limited to what he can do as far as the skill set went. He was specifically drafted for that cover 3 role, and we got away from that shit. So it felt like it wasn't going to work, but I'm glad it has. I'm glad he showed a lot more effort, a lot more willingness to tackle, a lot more willingness to put his helmet on the ball, and I see an improvement. So I will give Morg his flowers, definitely.
And with one hand too, again, like he's doing it. I mean, he had his hand strapped up this game, but like last week when he got the interception, he had the stump. You know what I'm saying? He was still able to make his tackles. He was still able to catch the ball for the interception and make the plays. So, yeah, even more praise for Morg, and hopefully this trend continues to go upwards, right?
Yep.
If this don't tell you something, bro, then I don't know what else does, dog. If you have Raider Ben wanting Roderick Teamer to play, bro, over Marcus Epps, there's a problem, dog. Because I fucking hate Roderick Teamer, dude, but he's better than Marcus Epps in my opinion, dude. The first highlight I ever saw of Marcus Epps when we signed him was the Super Bowl where he got fucking killed by Kelsey the entire game trying to guard him, dude. He's a good run stopper, bro, but he's fucking horrible in coverage, bro. He's fucking trash.
Well, Roderick Teamer's been doing. Like he's coming in. He's not really a full-time starter, but he's been a situational guy. And I noticed last week because Nate Hobbs has been out injured, like he was that box kind of guy. And I thought, like for the most part, he's been doing a reasonable job. Remember how many people were talking about that it was going to be Polamalu? Well, no, it's been Roderick Teamer, and I think for the most part, he's been doing his thing. I mean, I think Roderick Teamer earned that role because, like, in my personal opinion, he was the best playing safety in preseason, right? I think both my guys are gone.
No, I'm here. I'm at the store. I'm buying shit. I don't want you guys to hear all this shit.
Yeah, all good, bro. All good. But Raider Joe, the link is there if you wanted to drop into the stream. Look, I understand, like, if you two need to bounce in that, because I don't know. Nate, are you working today?
No, I don't need to bounce. I'm on my lunch break. I got like 20 more minutes.
Yeah, I got to start getting ready, Afakasi. Y'all keep it going. Though.
Yeah, fuck you, Nate. Fuck you, Nate.
Fuck you.
I'll see you tomorrow night, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, Nate. Always a pleasure, my brother.
Thank you, AR, for having us. Appreciate you always. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
All right, for sure. Peace, man. All right, you take care and you have a good day.
Raiders.
All right, peace, Nate. Bentham.
What's up, dude?
Got any other takes you want to share before we, I don't know?
Fuck. Amik Robertson needs more playing time, bro. I don't see how he can fit though. If Hobbs is healthy and Jacorian Bennett is healthy, like I don't see how they can get Amik Robertson on the field, bro. But he's got to be on the field, dude. He's got to be on the field one way or the other, dude, because he's a playmaker, bro. We don't have very many of those on our defense, man. And I'm to the point to where I'm done with Marcus Peters, bro. Like, I'd rather see Amik Robertson play over Marcus Peters at this point, dog. Just let Marcus Peters be a coach on the sideline or something, bro. Like, he sucks, dude.
Shout out to Raider Joe, my RWO brother. What's crack-a-lacking, Raider Joe? Joe, you good?
Yeah, he's driving through the desert right now. He don't got no reception.
All right, for sure. Well, I'll wait for him to situate himself. But just to your point about Amik, I actually debated Amik with shout out to Nate on our previous live. Nate was pounding the table to have him start on the outside, and for me, I like Amik. Don't get me wrong. I turned from being a very vocal critique of Amik Robertson before last season to being an advocate for Amik. Like, I appreciate his dog, and like I keep saying, the thing that I think he's done well in the last 2 seasons is that, yeah, he takes his punches, but what he's learned to do is punch back. And he definitely made that game-saving play last week, and he's done it a few times in the last 2 seasons, right? But
that's a great analogy you make, Afakasi, because I believe the same thing, dog. Like, we have too many players on our team that will get punched and will cower down like a bitch, bro. Like, Amik gets punched and he's right back in your face. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, like I highlighted, I believe it was his fault with that busted coverage, but at least he was able to make up for it, you know, later in the game. And he had other moments where he did well as well. But where would you have Amik when Nate Hobbs comes back healthy and Jacorian Bennett? Do you see him as a full-time starter on the outside over the likes of either Bennett or Marcus Peters? Or I would run Bennett and Amik on the outside, dog, and put Nate Hobbs in the slot. So you'd put Amik and Bennett as our starting outside corners? Yep, sure would. Amik gets burned, but every corner gets burned, bro. I ain't seen Marcus Peters do fucking shit for us all year except fucking that horse collar tackle that helped us win the game, bro. Like, he ain't done shit. You know, like, fuck that. I want to see somebody come out that ball for us, Spillane, right? Yeah, and he did bat that ball up for Spillane, but I mean, if he catches that pick six, bro, I think if Amik Robertson is in that same situation where he dropped that pick six, Amik don't drop that, bro. That's a touchdown. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm just done with Marcus Peters, in my opinion, dog. If you go back and look at his entirety over his career, Marcus Peters was more of a slot corner, dog, and then they moved him to the outside later in his career, but he was more of a slot corner over his career, bro. When he played with the Chiefs, he was a slot corner. When he played with the Rams, he was a slot corner. And then he went to Baltimore, and they put him outside with Marlon Humphrey, and he played all right, but I don't know. I feel like Marcus Peters is a slot corner. Sure. Well, Raider Joe, salute to you. Is your reception good enough now? You got any takes, brother? Joe. He's stuck in the ether right now, bro. I think his reception's bugging. Yeah. Well, Joe, when you get a chance, if you want to give us your takes, but I'll just read out this comment here by Raider Ray. I feel like Amik shines as a spot starter over the course of multiple games as a starter. If when teams start to pick on him, I'd love to see him rotated in more. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like him as a situational guy, as a full-time starter on the outside. Salute to you, Pyro. I see you in the building. I don't know, man. Like, I guess it would be ideal, like, if we had that true number one corner. Like, it scares me. Like, Bennett, yeah, you know, he's been spotty as a rookie, and I'm willing to give him concessions and look at it in perspective. He's a rookie. He's doing decent enough. I mean, he's showed more than most of these other rookies that we drafted this season, right? So yeah. It does kind of scare me having the likes of maybe him take over as that number one and then Amik as the number two. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It would have been nice to have I'm probably one, like that, bro, because I've always been an advocate for Amik Robertson, bro. That's one of them. I have a little bit of bias when it comes towards Amik. You know what I mean? And me choosing him over Peters is just because Peters doesn't look good, bro. He does not look good at all. You know what I mean? So maybe put Hobbs on the outside, even though I don't like that because I think Hobbs' natural position is a slot corner. He's a great tackler. He can guard option routes and shit like that. Amik can do that too, but you can't have two slot corners unless you're running like dime or quarter defense. You know what I mean? So if the Raiders are going to run that 4-2-5 bullshit or what the fuck they run, we only can have 3 corners on the field. So, I would be cool with honestly running Nate Hobbs and Jacorian Bennett on the outside and putting Amik in the slot. Just get Marcus Peters off the fucking field, bro. He sucks. It kind of sucks, like, if we were to do that, taking Nate Hobbs away from a position where he thrives. I believe he thrives in that nickel. It's still a question mark, him being on the outside, but he's got the prototypical size for it. And, I mean, the skill set is there, you know what I mean? It's just being able to put it together. But once again, I guess it's just a shame that we've got a lot of good young talent at the secondary position, but we're still looking for that true number one shutdown, lockdown cornerback that we haven't had since the likes of Nnamdi Asomugha, right?
Shit, David Amerson I thought was solid for like one or two seasons.
I loved Amerson too. I had his jersey once upon a time. You know, he was probably the closest thing we had, as well as Casey Hayward. Unfortunately, with David Amerson, he went down to injury, and then when he came back from injury, teams figured him out, and he just wasn't the same guy that he showed like potential to be in his first 2/3 of his Raider tenure. Casey Hayward, I think, was the closest. I mean, I thought he did a good job as a veteran, but he was on the downside of his career. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's still in the league. Like, he's been playing for a while, but I still stand by what I said. We're still looking for that true number one, and I think that would complete this secondary if we had that lockdown, shutdown guy. I was hoping Nate Hobbs could prove to be the guy by now. He still has a chance. Maybe we might shove him back on the outside, but like, once again, I personally I like where he's at nickel, being that we know he thrives there, and that's a position we've another position on the secondary we've struggled for how many years now? You know what I'm saying? Like, the next guy was probably PJ Carey, and he didn't exactly light the house on fire. We tried LaMarcus Joyner, and remember how much he struggled?
Didn't we run LaMarcus Joyner? We ran him at slot corner, didn't we? He was our slot, wasn't he?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, to my point, that nickel corner has been a major struggle in previous years. You know what I mean? And to find a guy like Nate Hobbs, who at least, like, we know what we have in him at the nickel spot. It's still a question mark what he can do on the outside, because granted he was injured last year, but like, it was pretty, spotty to say the least when we had him play that outside role last year.
Well, I said all last year that Nate Hobbs needs to be in the slot, because last year they put him on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he struggled. But that was also the first time he had played on the outside, because his rookie season he was a slot corner. So kind of like Trayvon, he was trying to learn a different position, and he was injured. Same thing like Trayvon. He was injured. He missed significant playing time last year.
Right, and that's just to my point. Like, that's why I'm hesitant to take him away from that nickel spot and chuck him on the outside. You know what I mean? We've got a guy who's bona fide, a good player at that role. But whatever works. If we were to implement Amik Robertson, give him more play time because he's deserved it. Like, if he takes over from that nickel spot, I mean, in coverage he's decent enough with nickel and dime. Another guy who was pleasant last week was Tyler Hall. I thought he did his job, like, considering he just came off the practice squad, right?
He was our second highest player on PFF last week.
Right.
Was Tyler Hall, and then I think Robert Spillane was number 1. I think Amik Robertson was number 3. Max Crosby was number 4, which is kind of crazy because Max Crosby played lights out. But that just goes to show how good Amik and Tyler Hall played last week, bro. They played really good, and that's who our number 1 guy was. Our number 1 ranked fucking guy on PFF last week was Dylan Parham. He struggled a little bit at first, but then he kind of started to get it together. Yeah, he had like a 90. A 95 or a 96 point something PFF grade last week. So
that's interesting. Like, I didn't know that. I thought like he had a.
Yeah, that's what I use Twitter for stats like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, maybe they pay attention more to the little things. I mean, they're the guys that get paid the big dollars to notice these things and put the stats on the PFF website, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if Patrick Graham was watching my shows last year, because I kept saying last year, bro, stop putting Max Crosby only on the offense's right, bro. Move him around, because when you put him on the offense's right, they can key in on him, bro. They know where he's going to be at. This season, bro, you're seeing it. He's lined up on the right. He's lined up on the left. They've lined him up across the center a couple times, and that's what you do with dominant pass rushers. It's the same thing the Steelers do with TJ Watt. When you have a dominant guy, you cannot let offenses key in on him, dude. Move him around. So when they come out of the snap, their play may be designed, okay, well, Max Crosby's going to be on the right now. They come out, and now he's on the left, and now teams have to change their whole fucking play up because where Max Crosby's lined up at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I guess, like, being that last week their starting left tackle was out, so it was a weak spot of their defense. Like usually,
all of our corners were out. Afakasi. Let's not make excuses for them. Shit, we didn't have Nate Hobbs or Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah. No, hear me out. Like I'm just making a point with why they were moving Max Crosby, not just being on the right side, but also lining up on the left side. You know, usually with teams like that, usually teams' best lineman is on the left side, right? The left tackle.
Yeah,
that's where you want to have your best lineman, because that's the blind side. And the fact that like their left tackle, I believe, was out, like it was a weak spot for the offense. So maybe that's why they were, you know, putting him on the other side and trying to capitalize on that. But like to your point, like when a defensive player is lined up on the right, like the quarterback can see that it's the left side that, you know, he has to trust that the left tackle or the left guard are going to do their job to protect that, because for the most part it's called the blind side for a reason, right?
Yeah. Well, that last game against the Packers wasn't the only game that they moved him around. They moved him around against the Chargers too. When I was at that game, that was the first time I seen them moving around, because I seen Max Crosby at right outside linebacker or right defensive end. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, he never plays that. So your right defensive end is the left side of the offense, is the left side of the offense, and your right side defensive end is the left side of the offense. But they moved him, and I'm like, okay, cool, but that's what they need to continue to do, bro, because teams are going to key in on Max, dog. He's our best fucking player on our D-line. And if Malcolm Kuntz can start getting some sacks, Malcolm Kuntz has the highest pressure rate out of our entire defense right now, including Max. He's getting pressure. It's just that it's almost like he has the Arden Key effect. Like he's getting there, but he's either a little bit too late or he can't make the sack. But I don't know. I like what I see out of Malcolm Kuntz, and Tyree Wilson's getting better too, bro. Like I'm super critical of Tyree, bro. He's been getting better over the last couple of weeks, bro. I'll give it to him. I don't know if he's getting healthy or what, but I mean, he's looking all right. So
yeah, no, that's the analogy I use for Malcolm Kuntz. Is I hope he's not like, you know, I appreciate his motor, but I just want him to get home. I don't want it to just be a case of Arden almost key, just putting on the QB hits, which is good, but I just want to see him finish and get home. But just this comment here by Charles Washington, unfortunately, those lockdown corners don't grow on trees. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but it's just, it would be nice if we can hit on one of these guys via the draft or in free agency that could prove to be the guy.
And that's what I was going to say in reference to your comment. I'm glad you brought that up, Afakasi, about you wanting a shutdown corner. There's not very many of those in the National Football League. You know what I mean? They're hard to come by. You know, like you said, they don't grow on trees. That's a fact. How many shutdown corners can you name in the NFL? You can probably name them on one hand. You got Sauce Gardner-Johnson. You got who else? I can't even think of all these fucking teams, bro. But there's not very many shutdown corners. I know Marlon Humphrey's a real good corner, but he's barely coming back from injury. When healthy, Jalen Ramsey's a shutdown corner, but there's just not many of them. It's not like every team has a shutdown corner, you know? You can make up for your deficiencies at corner if you can engineer a great defensive line. Look at how the Niners are doing it. The Niners don't have no lockdown corners, but they just get so much pressure on the quarterback, it forces the quarterback to make bad throws.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get it. I guess just for me, it sucks because when I came into Raider football, the bar was Nnamdi Asomugha, right?
Yeah, we were DBU, bro.
Right, and we just haven't had that since he left out.
We've always been known for having good corners, bro. Nnamdi Asomugha, Charles Woodson, Lester Hayes, old man Willie Brown, who else we fucking had? We've always, who's the dude that we had in the Super Bowl team? Eric Allen. Like, we've always had shutdowns.
He was pretty good, wasn't he? Rod Woodson.
Yeah, Rod Woodson played safety, though. He played safety for us when we went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
It was Charles Woodson and Eric Allen was our corner.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's
just like I said. Charles Woodson was on I think he was gone when we went to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was gone after the Tuck Rule game.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Afakasi, I got to get out of here though, Bubba. I'm at work. I got to get back to it. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for giving me your time. Take care. And anybody in the chat, you know what time it is. If you can, go subscribe to Raider Ben. You guys know where to find him. Just if you guys haven't already, I don't know what you're doing on my channel. I appreciate that, but like, you guys really need to get over on my boy Raider Ben's channel. And he's got some of the best Raider content going on the thing. But appreciate you, brother. You carry on with your day. Take care, fam, and I'll catch you on the flip side for sure.
Yeah, on these days where it's kind of slow, like today it's really slow. I'll join you guys, bro. But like whenever I don't join you guys, it's typically because I'm busy. But all right, guys, Afakasi, much love. Like I said, I know you got cricket and shit, but if any of your plans change, bro, just hit me up, dog. I would love to get you back on the show.
Stay fucking less. All right, Raider Ben.
All right, guys.
Take care, man. You have a good day. Appreciate it.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders for sure. Well, it's just me, myself, and I. Appreciate everyone who stopped in the chat feed. My apologies, I didn't read out the comments as much as what would have been ideal, but I see them all. I try to get to as many as I could. You know, sometimes like when you have a panel, you kind of keep the conversation flowing. But I appreciate you all. Kunz had a full practice today. Hobbs is out, but it's only Wednesday. Yeah, look, I was gonna try and address that while Ben was on the channel to see if he'd heard anything, but I haven't heard anything about Hobbs. Hopefully we can get him back. Like, he is an integral piece of this defense, and you know, the sooner we get him back, it's only going to be better for our team. And the defense has been trending upward, and hopefully we can keep that going. It's just a case of the offense. Hopefully that can be a little bit more efficient. You know what I mean? Like, Devontae can come back healthy. We can utilize our other weapons. Somehow, some way, we can get Renfro involved at tight end. Josh Jacobs, he's starting to pick up some steam. Granted, the yards per carry hasn't been ideal, but you know, he has been a little bit better, and that's at least showing some progress. But I'm looking at the offensive line. I'm looking at the QB play. Got to be better. And hopefully it can keep trending upwards, and we can do enough just to win, baby, right? Charles Washington, how is Young looking to you guys? Are you talking about Byron Young? Yeah, like from the eye test, he's been disappointing to me. And I highlighted that before. Like, I haven't been impressed with the likes of him the same way I wasn't impressed with Neil Farrell and Matthew Butler last year. Nesta Silvera was only limited not last week, the week before against the Chargers, but I saw more out of him in on the few plays he was on the field than I saw from any of those other three cats. So that's at least something. And to get that from a 7th rounder, you know, cool. I just hope to see that trending upwards from here on out. Raider Ben, great show. I appreciate you, Raider Ben, coming to my stream. I mean, making time for me, being one of the bigger content creators in the Raiders scene. Very much appreciated. Tony Chef, Afakasi, helping keep this momentum going. Yeah, well, look, that's the key word for me. I might say it over and over again like a broken record, but that's for me what I want. And hopefully last week, being that we won, you know, I'm going to look at the positives. Like, there's no need for me to talk about the negatives or focus on that when we won. Just win, baby, right? So let's look at the positives. We won the game, and hopefully that can be what I keep saying, a momentum-building win. 1 win can turn into 2 wins. 3 wins, we've got a very winnable schedule. Next thing you know, we've got our season back on track, right? Raider Ray. I like Jacorian, rookie out of Maryland, going against a ton of number ones, has the speed trait, and gets his head around to look for the ball. He just needs reps and experience. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've said it a few times. Yeah, Jacorian Bennett has taken his licks, but he's also made some plays. Like, I see him making some pass deflections, keeping up with his assignment. You know, with all things considered, a guy we drafted, I think in the 4th or 5th round, like, he's been pleasing for the most part, and that's more than I can say for a lot of these other rookies who haven't really showed much, which has kind of been disappointing. But look, early days. You know, Tyree Wilson has been trending upwards. Like, he hasn't been the game changer we hoped he would be, being a first rounder, but that's okay. I said when we drafted him, it's going to take time with Tyree, and at least he's starting to trend a little bit upwards. So, you know, Jacorian Bennett, like, I have been happy for the most part. Like, the only time I've been displeased with Jacorian Bennett was when he gave up a catch and run, I believe, against the Steelers, where the lack of effort to try and hustle to make the tackle when he got burnt, it seemed like he was just having a leisurely jog, like trying to catch the player, when it's like, well, you've got 4.3 speed, utilize that and at least try to make the tackle. You know what I'm saying? Don't just let him get away and wait for somebody else to make the play. But outside of that, he's been pretty decent, and hopefully he's another one who comes back healthy. So, yeah. But anyways, like, I appreciate everybody. It's been 49 minutes over what we usually run. good to see all the faces in the feed. You know, Charles Washington, I think it's the first time I've seen you in my chat feed specifically, so I appreciate you stopping by. Rafa, Tony, Raider Ray, Bantha, of course, pulled off my stream. Willie Wayne, Pyro, Raider Pete, Snoops, Pyro, Goon, Tony, Cool Kev. God, I don't know if I'm missing anyone else. Hopefully not. Raider Joe tried to join us for a minute, but his Wi-Fi was his internet was a little spotty. But he'll be back with us on our Raiders World Order shows on the weekend, and we'll give a pre-game or a post-game this week when scheduling permits. But anyways, gang, thanks for coming. It means everything to me, your support. I mean, I can't do this without you guys, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I love you all. I'm going to close it off now. Raider Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie, you know what time it is. It's Raider Nation till we what? Raider Nation till we die. All right, chat. I'll catch you on the flip side for sure. All right, peace, gang. Take care.